If you've ever wondered how you can get students to enroll faster in your martial arts school, this episode is going to be for you because I'm going to show you the 3 ways you can enroll students quicker into your martial arts school. So, especially if you have people come and they try a bunch of classes and they kind of just fade away or fall through the cracks, how do you get people to join as quickly as possible while still seeing the value in the program without making them feel rushed or without being too salesy? I'm going to break down the entire process for you today. And this is going to be quick and efficient, so you can listen to this while you're eating a burrito at lunch at the school. Okay. Now, you're going to want to share this with your martial arts friends. Don't keep this secret. Okay. The more kids that we have doing martial arts, the more adults that we have doing martial arts, the better. When you start thinking it's like a dog eat dog world and you think like it's you versus the other person in your area, it's really a bad way to think and it's not healthy. You really want to think in terms of like abundance, like everyone can achieve, everyone can grow. One of my favorite quotes of all time is from Frederick Douglass. And he says, it's easier to build strong kids than it is to fix broken adults. And we have a lot of broken adults these days, okay? We see it in the news all the time. No matter what side of the aisle you land, there's too many tragic events that happen throughout the world, and especially in the US, which is most of the people listening here are going to be from the US. So share this information with another martial arts school so we can help more kids and more adults get in martial arts because it's going to help everyone. Okay. You want to have what's it, scarcity mindset versus, oh my God, I forget the other word for it, abundance mindset. Maybe you don't want to have a scarcity mindset where it's like either you versus them. Martial arts is really us versus the other sports like soccer and baseball, basketball. So share this episode with other martial arts schools so that we can all grow together as a team. And by the way, if you're listening to this episode and you're like, hey, this is great, I'd love to have more stuff like this, then make sure you subscribe to the Black Belt Business newsletter. It's free, 3 days a week. I post a 3-minute read on how to either get new students, how to retain the students you have, and how to build your team of instructors. Okay. And you're asking yourself, like, how does he even know how to do this? Who the heck is this guy? Well, I grew up in an organization called Action Karate, my brother's martial arts franchise, him and his the co-owner, Jacqueline Razai, and I grew up in the franchise. And we scaled from, like, when I joined, about 12, 13 schools to over 30 schools now. So it's a fly on the wall for all the conversations. Had my own school. I still have martial arts schools currently, but I started my first school when I was 21 years old as part of the organization, scaled to 3. Over a year and a half ago, sold one, and so now I still own 2 of them that pretty much operate by themselves, which is really great. I live in Florida. The schools are in Philadelphia and New Jersey. So I've been in the industry for a really long time and been part of one of the best franchises in the country for martial arts. So if you're wondering, like, does he have the credentials? Well, yeah, I've been part of one of the best organizations in the country and the world. So I learned from like one of the masters, my brother Solomon Brenner, and his co-founder Jacqueline Razai. So I'm going to share with you some of the stuff that I've learned from sales books and actually practicing it in the field, okay, in our schools, and some of the stuff I've learned from my mentors as well. So you're not just getting theory, you're getting things that have actually been practiced, things that we do on the daily in our schools. So let's dive in. We're going to talk about the 3 ways to enroll students faster so you don't have people fall through the cracks. Okay. So this is the first mistake I see martial arts school owners do. The first mistake I see school owners do, and whenever they get an appointment, they let the person on the phone dictate when the appointment's going to be. They'll say, oh, like, when are you free? No, you don't tell the person, like, when are you free? Because then they're going to say something far out. Okay. You want to tell them when you are free. Okay. And the more scarce your resources, the better it's going to be. So part of our phone script is talking about how we're busy before we talk about how we're free. And what I mean by that is, like, imagine you're going to ask a girl out on a date. And you're trying to figure out a time, and you're like, I'm free whenever. Like, whenever you want to go, I'm available. Whenever you want to go out on a date for a drink, I'm available. When you do that, what are you saying? You're saying, like, you don't have a lot going on. You're not saying that, obviously, like, out loud, those words, but that's what she's going to think. She's going to think, oh, maybe this guy's a loser. He has nothing happening in his life. But when you tell them the times that you're busy first, hey, I'm busy this weekend and I'm busy next week, but I do have an opening on Thursday night. Like, if you want to grab a drink then, or Sunday at lunch. I could do that too. Which one do you think would work better for you? And you give people options. So when you and it shows that you're valuable because you have stuff going on. You have a life. Okay, it's unconscious way you're saying it, but when you set up an appointment, do not book 2 or 3 weeks out. You want to book within 1 week. Okay, the further you book out appointments, it feels good. Like, oh my God, look how I'm letting them be flexible and schedule whenever, but it's really hurting you because the further you put out appointments, whether you do a private lesson when someone joins or whether they join a group class, the less likely it is they're going to show up. Ask anyone in the industry who's been around long enough, they'll tell you the same exact thing. Okay, the further out, the worse it is, the sooner, the better. Okay, so here's one of the best ways we say it. Okay, so we'll say like, hey, we're completely booked for the next 2 weeks. However, we do have an opening. It looks like, oh, you know what? I had someone reschedule on Tuesday at 6, or I have Thursday at 5:30. Which one's better for you? And that could be Monday that we're doing that. And we're saying we want that lesson to come in that week. Sometimes I'll even say that day, hey, you know what? I know it's kind of crazy, but we did have someone rescheduled for today at 7. Do you want to come? I have that time or tomorrow at 4. Which one's better for you? A lot of times I'll just choose that day. Okay. So you want to be scarce about what time's available you give people and say this time or that time. Do not leave it open-ended and you're free whenever, okay? You don't go to the doctor's appointment. You don't call and make a doctor's appointment and they say like, oh, like when are you free? They tell you when they have available and you choose one. Your martial arts school, you're a doctorate in martial arts. You should be treated the same exact way, okay, with respect and people actually caring about your time. So you're really setting a standard early. Now, I should have said this before that. I should have said this before I went into that. But one of the big issues I see with martial arts school owners, especially, this is really all small business owners, but especially martial arts schools, is they don't even answer the phone. Okay, and the problem is if someone's online, they're searching jiu-jitsu near me, karate near me, taekwondo near me, they're going to look at the listing of all the stuff that comes up. They're not going to have like a discerning interest of like, oh, this one's better than the other. They might look at the reviews, which for the most part can be about the same. Like I don't know how many martial arts schools you see that have like a 3 out of 5 star rating or 4 out of 5 star rating. Usually it's going to be anywhere between like 4.4, 4.5 to 5. Okay. So, but usually they're going to call the first one that's on top. Okay. After they read a couple of reviews, if they don't answer, what's going to happen? They're going to call the next one. And they don't answer, they're going to call the next one. So if you only answer the phone like during business hours, or worse, if you have like a phone that you only answer when you're at the school, so which is like between the hours of noon and 8 p.m., you are missing out on a ton of people. And how I like to think about it is if I call them and, if they call me and I don't answer, that phone call is worth about $3,000. Okay. Would you answer a phone for $3,000? If you would, right? But that's how much a value of a student is going to be throughout the year, right? So depending on your tuition, right? But even if your tuition is a little bit lower throughout the year, yeah, but what about the equipment they buy, the people they refer, the events they go to, the tournaments and stuff like that they sign up for? So that you not answering that phone could cost you thousands of dollars. And that's not like a pretend number. That's a real number. And whoever answers the phone is going to win that business. Okay. And I don't know if you ever had the experience before dealing with like real estate agents, right? I know personally with commercial real estate agents, getting them on the phone is almost impossible. Okay. And it makes it very frustrating. So basically, whoever answers the phone oftentimes is going to win that business. Be the person who's going to win the business. Be the person who answers the phone. And for us, like we have our work number go directly to our personal cell phone. So when someone calls, we just answer it, right? And it shouldn't be a 10 or 15 minute conversation. It should be under 3 minutes where you're getting them to just set up an appointment. That should be the main focus, not to build rapport. You don't want to have a 10 to 15 minute conversation talking about their life and what they want and the schedule and the memberships, none of that. The whole point is finding out briefly where they came from, why they want to train in martial arts, like briefly, telling them how whatever special works, whatever, if you do a paid trial or a free trial, and then getting them to set up an appointment and moving on with their day. Okay. Because when they come in is when you're going to be able to show them the value of their school. Okay. So making sure you answer the frickin' phone, because if you don't, it could cost you thousands of dollars. And whatever school is in your area is to answer, then they're going to win that. They're going to win that business. They're going to win that student. And you miss out on the opportunity to even help them. Okay. All right. So that's going to be kind of the first point, is setting up an appointment within the first week. Okay. Preferably, I like the first 4 or 5 days, like max. So unless someone's like, hey, I'm on vacation this week and I'm going to be back next week or 2 weeks from now, fine, I'll do it. But I really try to avoid it. Okay. And if you have an automatic scheduler, which I highly recommend, so people should be able to go on your website and just book an appointment. They shouldn't have to call or email or text. Like they should be able to go in there. If you have a CRM that does appointment scheduling, great. If not, use Calendly or any other service like that. They're 15, 20 bucks a month. You'll connect it to your Google Calendar. They can see what time slots you have available and just have them book right through there. If you charge for trials, you can have them pay for it in there as well. Okay. So it should be super simple and super easy for them. Do not make it difficult. The more difficult you make it for them, like if they have to, this is the thing that drives me crazy. If they have to create an account, like a username and a password to set up an appointment with you, most people are going to drop out of that. If they have to download an app, you're going to be missing a lot of people. It should be email, number, name, pick a time. That's it. Okay. You can use Calendly. It's maybe 15, 20 bucks a month. All right. So make it easy for people to book appointments. And the more friction you put in front of it, the less likely they are going to join, and you're going to miss a lot of people like that. Okay. You're not going to really, and like if you take a while to follow up with those phone calls, like, hey, I got a lead on Friday afternoon and you don't follow up till whenever you get to it, which is Monday afternoon or Tuesday, you're leaving a lot of money on the table. You're and not just money, like you're missing the opportunity to help a lot of people, and they're going to your competitors. And then later you'll call them and be like, oh my gosh, my leads ghosted me. They don't answer. My ad agency sucks. Like they sent me bad leads. No, you just didn't follow them fast enough. You lost the opportunity. That's it. Speed is king in this situation. All right. So schedule appointments as quickly as possible so you don't lose people. All right. That's number one with a bunch of subpoints. Number two, if you want people to enroll quicker at your school, you want to preheat your appointments. Okay. What do I mean by that? Well, that means that people are getting communication from you before their lesson. All right. It can't just be like, hey, I set up an appointment and then I show up. Like, no. There needs to be a series of either email/texts that tell them a little bit about your program. Now, that doesn't mean that you tell them all the trophies you won and the belt rank and how you trained with an Okinawan master from the 1800s. No one gives a crap about that. 99% of people that are joining a martial arts school don't understand or know anything about the heritage, okay? And they don't care, to be honest. They don't care about your trophies. What they do care is how you can help them, okay? So you want to have a series of emails/texts that tell about your story. And it should be briefly, what is your origin story, right? For me, my origin story, and I'll tell you very briefly, but I have a whole thing, which is when I was a little kid, I was really shy. My mom signed me up for martial arts. And my first class, I cried like crazy, but she made me go anyway. And she kept on bringing me, even though I was very, very upset and didn't want to do it. But she kept on making me go because she knew how shy I was. And it was martial arts that gave me the confidence to be able to do public speaking, raise my hand for group projects at school. And it completely changed my life. And now I want to help other people do the same thing. Okay. And when you tell stories like that, it resonates with people. And it can all be automated. This is all through email or text of like, hey, here's about our school. Here's why we started. Here's who you're going to meet. Okay. We like to tell them like, hey, I'm going to be your instructor when you come in. I'm going to be wearing blah, blah, blah. So they know who to expect when they walk in there and what to look for. Okay. This is like super ninja tips. Okay. So write this down. If you're not, they should know who they should look for and what you're wearing when they walk in. They shouldn't walk in confused and look around like a dummy and feel uncomfortable for the first 2 minutes until whatever instructor is available comes over to them. No, because that 2 minutes is going to feel like 2 years. Okay. You need to approach them as quick as possible, which brings me to my next point, which is you need to talk to them by name or address them by name. They shouldn't walk in there and be like, what's your name? You should know who's coming in at what time. Okay. So like, you want to address them by name. This must be Johnny, right? If you have two people coming at the same time, you could say like, you could say like, this must be, and then say their name. Right. But if you have people coming at their own time slots, you got to address them by name. It feels good. Okay. Do not ask who they are. You should already know who they are. Okay. So know their name, say it when they enter. Okay. And please, if you want students to enroll faster, might be controversial, but we do not send out a copy of our memberships and we do not send out a copy of our schedule in advance. Now, if you're listening to this, you're one of my clients and you do mass enrollments through school programs, that's different. Okay. I'm talking about people who visit your website or visit your ads. It's rare that someone's going to look at the schedule and membership and see the prices and understand the value, and then they're going to show up ready to enroll. Okay. Usually what's going to happen is you're just going to cut people out. okay? Because they don't know what they're even looking for. All they see is a price, and sometimes, usually the schedules are kind of confusing anyway, so people don't really understand it. Just pick a time for them, have them come in, then you'll go over to the schedule and memberships with them. Okay, if they press you on it, there's a whole way to. If they press you on it on the phone, there's a whole way to deal with that. That's another topic for another time. Make sure you subscribe to the Black Belt Business Podcast, so that way you don't miss topics like that, or the Black Belt Business Newsletter. If you send me a message on Instagram at Black Belt Brenner 1, I'll send you the link and you can join. Okay, so you want to not only preheat the leads with emails and texts, okay, so they get to know a little bit about the program, what to expect, who they're going to see when they get there, greet them by name, okay, but the other thing you're going to want to do to make sure they enroll quickly is you want to understand their why. Like, why exactly are they there? Is it an adult because they want to get in better shape? Is it a kid because their mom wants something for them to do, or they want focus or confidence? Like, what is it exactly they're there for, and why? Now, most people will give you the BS reason why in the beginning. So if it's an adult, they'll say, I want to get in better shape. Okay, cool. And then you say, like, why is it that you want to get in better shape? Oh, I want to get in better shape because I want to feel good. Okay, so why is it so important for you to feel good? Oh, it's so important for me to feel good because I feel like I don't feel that great right now. Like, oh, in what way? Like, oh, my ankles hurt because maybe I'm overweight and I don't like going to the gym because I find it boring and intimidating. I want to do something more fun. And like, okay, got it. So like, why is it so important to you? And it's kind of funny to say, but like, why is it so important to you? Ankles don't hurt? Because like when I go for a walk with my dog, I don't want to be in pain. Okay, got it. Now you understand my why, right? My why is I don't want to be in pain when I am walking my dog. And you're gonna remember that in your brain, okay? Or I want to be in better shape for my sister's wedding a year from now, right? Or when summer's coming up, I want to make sure I look better on the beach. Okay, I don't want to wear a cover up and feel embarrassed by my body. People will say random different things. Okay, but whatever the reason is, you want to remember it because that's what you're going to use to sell them on the membership later. Okay, to help them join. So you got to figure out what their why is. That's also a much broader topic than what we're talking about today. But once you understand their why, you'll be able to have them join faster. Okay, so you're going to have their why. You're going to greet them by name. Okay, you're going to preheat them through texts and emails. And by the way, those texts and emails should also have testimonials in it. Okay, people who were at your school that had a great experience, and let them sell the program for you. They trust you a little bit maybe when you talk about how much you like the program or how great your program is. But of course you're going to say that. But when they hear it from other local students or parents of kids that train at your school, that's way more powerful. If you have testimonials, don't just post it on Facebook one time and forget about it. You should have an entire YouTube. I like to have a YouTube playlist of the testimonials, and then take those YouTube links and put them in different ones in different emails and use them over and over and over again. It's a never-ending asset you could use to sell the program for you. Okay, so send out testimonials so people, and most of the time they're not even going to watch them, or they'll watch the first minute, okay, or 2 minutes. But even them just seeing them, like, oh, these are other people that had a great experience, is going to provide social proof that you have a great program. Okay, so make sure you preheat your leads that way as well. All right, and this is the final thing for preheating your appointments. This is something that I love to do, is let them know that if they love the class or the lesson, you'll have a special offer for them if they join today. Okay, so if they come in the first time, like, we'll go over everything with them in terms of like getting them, if they do a private lesson or a group class, like whatever they're going to do that day. We'll obviously have them fill out a new student application if they didn't do that in advance. But whatever they're going to do that day, okay, we'll also say before they take the first lesson or group class, whatever it is, whether you do private lessons or group classes, we'll say, by the way, if you love the class today, we'll have a special offer for you to join the program at the end. So if you absolutely love it, we'll go over at the end. And they'll say, okay, great. That way at the end, they're going to know, okay, here comes the sales pitch. We do the same exact thing for mass enrollments. We let people know that what we're going to do so it doesn't feel as salesy. Is when it comes out of nowhere, that's when people feel like they're being sold to, is when they don't expect it, okay? And it comes out of nowhere. It's like you get the free massage at the hotel, and next thing you know, there's some guy yapping at you why you need to buy a timeshare in Cancun for 2 hours, and you're stuck. All right. So make sure that you ask for permission to sell. Simple sentence, as simple as, hey, if you love the class today, or hey, if you love the lesson, we'll have a special offer for to join the program at the end if you absolutely love it. Is that cool? And I say, yeah, sounds great. All right, cool, awesome. Most people know if their first lesson whether they go on to join or not. If they booked an appointment, or they searched the internet, they booked an appointment, they scheduled time out of their day, they drove there, they took a class. How many like do you go to a restaurant and go around and look around before you place an order? No, you go in there ready to go. Okay. So most people when they join, I'm talking about 80 to 90% of people, they'll be ready to join that first day. Now, if their kid is too young and maybe want to try a few classes and they're not really sure, yeah, do not try to enroll that child. In fact, push them to later, have them try a couple more classes, even if you don't charge them for it, because that'll build more credibility and rapport. But if they're old enough and they love it, they should be joining the first day. Okay. We like to offer a special offer where we give $100 off their equipment pack, which is usually $200. So it's half off. So it's 100. Or you can do a free equipment pack if they join that day, but some don't discount your tuition. Okay. You never want to discount your tuition because then you're discounting your program and what you do, but you can discount things and items or give them extras. It's way better to do it that way. Like even if I have a friend who wants to join martial arts, I'm not discounting our tuition, but I might give them like a free uniform or a t-shirt or like hook them up with stuff. Never do I discount our tuition. It's not fair to your instructor. It's not fair to you. Okay. So that's good. That's the third thing is having that special offer for people to continue that day. Okay. So know what they actually want, give it to them, find out their why, focus on it. And then, hey, if you join today, we'll give you $100 off our equipment pack. Okay. But make sure they actually want to enroll that day. Like if they're not ready, don't push them to do it just because you want to get it done. Okay. Never do that. That's when you come off as a used car salesman and no one likes that feeling. Okay. Now, whenever you do a special offer for joining that day, if they say, oh, this is so good, can I like call you later or email you later? The answer is no. Okay. If you're having a special offer that's on a time constraint, I promise you, the more people you say yes to later, they're never going to call you or text you or email you. It's not going to happen. You'll get 1 out of 100 that'll do that. Okay. Just say, no, the offer is good while you're here today. It's our first lesson enrollment special. Okay. So keep it simple, keep it easy. Don't do later. Now, if you're unsure if they're ready or not, you can ask what's called the curious, serious question. Okay. I don't know if the co-owner, Miss Jackie, who founded Action Karate, which is, their franchise that I've been part of my whole life. I don't know if she invented this or she saw it somewhere, but it is magic and works super, super well. And it's the best way to ask someone if they're ready to join right now or if they're not. Okay. And it's the best way to do it in a way that's like, once again, not salesy. No one likes to be salesy as a martial arts school owner, okay, or instructor. So here's what's called the curious series question. Grab a pen, write this down now, okay? And by the way, if you love this stuff and you're like, hey, this is great, I want more of it, and you want to learn how my programs work and how I can help your school grow, not only organically, but build systems for your instructors and staff so you can scale, send me an email, matthew@wyourdojo.com, or visit wyourdojo.com. Check out a video, shows you how we do it, and we'll see if we're a good fit. We'll set up a 10-minute call. Without being salesy whatsoever, ask about your school, see if I can help. If I can, great. If not, cross me off your list. That's totally cool too. All right, so here's a curious, serious question. You ready? So we say, like, at this point in the family's training, we find there are 2 different types of families. Families that are more curious, like they're not sure if this is something they definitely want yet. And then we get families that are serious. They know this is something they want and they're ready to go. Would you consider your family more curious or more serious? If they say curious, we're probably not going to go over the enrollment yet. Okay. Or we're not going to go over the memberships. We're going to say, okay, let's have them try a class or her try another class, see how they do. And then we'll do it that next time. If they say serious, well, okay, cool. If I went over the memberships and it made sense for you, then you would join today. Okay, great. Because then you'll be able to take advantage of our first lesson enrollment special where you save a bunch of money. I'll show you how to do that and then go into it. Okay. So if they're ready to go that day, boom, be ready to go that day using the serious, curious question. If you need to write it down, you know what? I'll even say it one more time. That way you don't have to rewind this. Making your life easy. You ready? At this point in families training, we find there are 2 different types of families. Families that are more curious, that they're not sure if this is something they're ready to do yet. And then we find families that are more serious. They know this is something they want to do. Would you consider your family more curious or more serious? Notice my tonality. It's like I'm asking a friend, right? If they say curious, cool. Then if they're curious, they're going to, if I went over the memberships and tuition, they're going to say, okay, cool. Let me think about it. Get back to you. Okay. So I'm not going to do it. I was going to say, cool, let's make sure he's even ready for this. And then and if he likes it and he wants to do it, we'll go over everything next time. And if they say serious, cool, we'll go over the memberships and they can go right there. All right. Really, really genie ninja strategy. It works super well. Start it right now. Okay. Now, here's the last thing I'm going to say. Okay. If you want to enroll students faster, you want to use a bridge statement. Okay. So earlier we talked about a why, like we find out why they actually want to be there. So when we go over a why statement of why they want to be there, once we find that out, we want to connect that directly with our membership or directly with our program. Okay. So let's say they said earlier, as an example, okay, not the best example, but someone said like, "Hey, I want to lose weight because my ankles hurt a lot when I go for a walk with my dog, and I hate feeling pain there." Okay, so we'd say at the end, right before you go over the membership, right before you go over whatever programs you offer, you say, "Okay, cool. So the best way to lose weight so that your ankles don't hurt when you're going for a walk with your dog is with our blah 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 program." Okay, so whatever thing they said they wanted. So okay, so if you want your child to focus better, that way you don't have to repeat directions to them over and over and over again when they're doing their homework, taking away time at your night that cause you to get frustrated, but so that your child could actually follow through on a task. The best way to get started is with our blah 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 program. The best way to do that is with our blah 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 program. So connect whatever they want directly with whatever you offer. When you do that, it just like logically makes sense that this is going to be the best thing for them. Okay, so those are the 3 ways to get students in your school as quickly as possible. I hope this is helpful. I hope this is efficient. As always, my goal is to give you no fluff, but like all strategy. It can help your school and help grow because we all need more kids and more adults to do martial arts. Thank you guys for listening. If you want any help with this for your school, reach out to me, Matthew at wdojo.com, or on Instagram at blackbeltbrenner1. Don't save this episode for yourself. Share it right now. Go to the share button. Send this to someone within you know that does martial arts or runs a martial arts school that you know can help. And please, if you don't mind, give me a rating, okay, or comment below at the very least. Let me know what you liked or didn't like, if this was helpful. That it means the world to me when I get feedback. Thank you guys for listening.